In today's video, we're going to be talking about some fandom basics, specifically Canon, Headcanon, and Fanon. So without further ado, let's get started. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. Canon. It is the material accepted as an official part of the story in the fictional universe of that story. It is also known as mythos, timelines, universe, continuity, but canon is the most popular one. The term was first used in context to the Sherlock Holmes stories and novels by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, as opposed with all the numerous Sherlock Holmes adventures added later by other writers. When there are multiple official works, the question of what is canon can be unclear. Sometimes the fandom might accept some work of a creator while completely rejecting a closely related second work as non-canon. And while their work is canon, statements made by them outside of official works can be considered to be merely an opinion. Grey canon refers to canon that is ambiguous in its canonicity, that is, a detail that is implied in canon but not outright stated, a detail brought up in creator's commentary or a podcast but never shown canonically. An example would be the character of Billy from Power Rangers, whose last name is never stated on the show but was referred to in merchandise and much later in the official website as Billy Cranston. Sometimes it is not possible to know all the canon, oftentimes simply because of how big it is. For example, the Star Trek universe or comic books, and sometimes these materials keep getting rebooted, making multiple versions canon. This can become a problem for canon sticklers. It is also possible for different types of work of the same thing to have different canons. For example, the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Marvel Comic Verse. It is also possible that different people view a certain piece of work differently based on their cultural bias, their own personal history, etc. And that brings us to headcanon. Headcanon is a fan's personal interpretation of canon, such as the backstory of the character or the nature of their relationship with other characters. Headcanon may represent a teasing out of subtext that is present in canon. It is also possible for a headcanon to directly contradict canon. When a large majority of people accept a headcanon, it becomes fanon, which is short for fan canon. It is possible for fanon to be so wildly popular in the fandom that even the creators decide to make canon. An example of this is when in the Stargate SG-1 fandom, fanfic writers gave a recurring character, Major Davis, the first name Paul. A few years later, the show writers officially gave the character name Paul. Fanon turning canon, though happily accepted by many, can also be seen as pandering on the creator's part. An example of this would be the latest buzz in the Voltron fandom, that of Shiro having a boyfriend, though that should not take away from the enjoyment of the show. To conclude, an example of canon, headcanon, and fanon would have to be Harry Potter has his mother's eyes is canon. Hermione Granger was black was a headcanon until, of course, the Cursed play. And Hufflepuffs are great finders is a fanon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next time. Toodles!